Hey, this is Josh from Sturt Dojo, and today I'm going to review the top SaaS SEO agencies that you should be looking at and those that you maybe should not be looking at. If you want to know who to hire, well, you've come to the right video, and let's get into it. I've spent a lot of time here putting together this list, and I'll go into a little bit about how I've ranked this list. But number one thing I want to tap into is whether these agencies really know modern SEO or not. For example, do they know about the information gain patent from Google? Do they know how information gain is used? Do they know some of the newer tactics that are really competitive advantages to being able to rank? A lot of times, what I see is agencies out there that are just kind of doing the same old thing, nothing has changed, and there's no real competitive differences between the two of them. Well, if you're in SaaS, if you have a software business or a technology business, the competition is steeper than ever. So I've gone ahead and ranked these agencies based on both rating, employee size, pricing, and their overall expertise and knowledge about SEO. So let's actually dive into some of these agencies right now. At the top of the list here for me is a company called SimpleTiger. So I do love SimpleTiger, and there's a couple of reasons for why I love them. So number one, the expertise in SaaS SEO. As you scroll through the website, it's pretty clear they have a pretty strong background in SaaS strategies and knowing how to draw in demand. That's increasing trial signups, demo schedules, and just overall subscription revenue. That's the MRR, ARR target number that we want to see organic growing, right? We want to see it influencing that. Well, as we go through the site, they really clearly display that they understand how that works. As you see through some of the other competitors that we're going to walk through, you'll notice the differences right away. The other things that I really like to see is transparent pricing. This is huge. I really do think that transparent pricing is really useful for a lot of SaaS companies. They want to know before they reach out, how much is this going to cost me and what are your packages? If I know what I'm looking for in terms of either just getting some guidance or maybe growing my SaaS business to the real next level, what does that look like and how does it work? And I just like that they have this transparent pricing right and available for you. Lastly, there's clearly quite a bit of knowledge being displayed around SaaS SEO in particular, and you can see that here from their learning hub or just their informational hub. There are some great guides in here that I won't cover right now. However, I do think they're very modern. They understand the top of funnel to bottom of funnel approach. That's understanding how people shop for software and where you need to be as a SaaS company in particular to grow your bottom line. And lastly, I think if you just look at their solutions pages, you can see they really know who they're targeting. Funded startups, seed stage, A stage, etc. And I think as you scroll through this, you'll see there's plenty of case studies that really highlight that they know what they're doing and clearly have evidence of being able to grow the right KPIs through SEO or organic search as a channel. So SimpleTiger makes it number one on the list for me in terms of one of the best SaaS SEO agencies. And I just love they're focused on SaaS and technology businesses. You can't get any better than that. Rock the Rankings. This is an agency that's run by Justin Berg. So the first thing that sticks out to me is just a really clear understanding of SaaS metrics. They're talking about SQLs, MQLs. These are sales qualified leads or marketing qualified leads. And these are really the things that the sales representatives want to know that you are driving from the marketing channel. So I think just in terms of the SaaS focus and the expertise around SaaS, it's pretty clear right from the get-go. And I like that Justin has some of these tear sheets or white papers that you can download. Doing a great job of SEO himself as well. So when you just look at the site, you pull this up in Ahrefs, it's doing pretty good. I also really like, once again, the transparent pricing. So if you go to the pricing page, you can see there's transparent pricing there, which is really good. And there are some case studies here that talk about particular software businesses and technology businesses. I do really like the Toast case study in particular, doing fantastic. If you pull open Toast in Ahrefs, you can see it's doing really, really well. So I'm going to put Rock the Rankings as kind of my number two for this video, and I hope that you continue to watch and look at all the other agencies to pick from. Next on the list is Scale. This is Scale.so. And as you can see, they are targeting SaaS brands. And much like our other agencies that are making it top of the list, They clearly show their expertise on how to grow subscription businesses. Is subscription or SaaS SEO different than all other forms of SEO? Yes, it is. You really have to understand the buyer journey and how people evaluate software and understand your ICPs. That's your ideal customer persona, and understand how is your ideal customer really discovering software solutions and what is it that they're looking at to evaluate those. And some of those don't even just include SEO. That's reviews, that's being noticed on different websites, that's having thought leadership, etc. Well, Scale shows that they do understand how that works. And I do really like that they lean into a lot of the revenue metrics. Most SaaS businesses care about all the KPIs that come before revenue, that's for sure. But at the end of the day, they want to know that organic search is driving real revenue. So, Scale does a fantastic job of this. They also do have a pretty good amount of case studies. However, it's not in depth, there's not a ton to pick from, but you can get the idea that they know what they're doing. They do not list pricing on the website, so there is no transparent pricing. We did look into it and found that their pricing averages around $4,000 a contract on a monthly basis, and that is just kind of for their standard agreement, and it probably scales up from there. If you wanted to learn more, all you have to do is go to Skale.so. However, we really like Scale. They're a great company, and we would put these folks at the top of the list as well. Last on the list is TripleDart. As you can see from the logos that are appearing here, they have Freshworks and Sprinkler and lots of great SaaS and technology businesses as part of their portfolio. If you go to their customer stories section, you can clearly see there's a lot of startup companies there, which I think is great. The only downside to TripleDart is that we were unable to really understand what their approach to modern SEO is. You really need to know how to compete in the landscape these days, and that's getting quick answers, that's using entities, that's really understanding similarity scores, that's really understanding what the information gain patent is from Google and why that's so leaned into today. There's really not a whole lot that's being discussed on behalf of TripleDart in terms of their approach to SaaS SEO. And so for that, I'd say I'd put them a little bit lower on the list. However, the portfolio of companies is clearly very long. We were able to find their average engagement is anywhere from $3,500 to $4,000 to start. So that's roughly on the same price range as most of the other agencies out there, making them top of the list as well. If you were to ask me what you should be looking for in a SaaS SEO agency, the first thing is that you need to look for whether the agency truly understands SEO or whether they're regurgitating some information that's been out there. If you are referring to the search quality guidelines here, do they really understand what it means? Can you test them on it? As you can see, this document was updated March 5 of 2024 on behalf of Google. If I do a simple search for helpful, over 210 results show up and references show up. That means that it's really leaning into helpful content quite a bit into 2024 and 2025. Do they really understand what that means? That's really key, because if you want to compete specifically in technology and SaaS, it's going to be very difficult to do so, and you need an agency that knows how to give you an edge. In addition, do they understand the contextual estimation of link information gain? This patent is so important these days, and the reason for that is essentially what Google is doing is it is trading your knowledge, your information to help train their LLM models. And in a sort of exchange, what they're doing is they're giving you rank, position, and traffic. And that's the new modern way that things are working in 2024 and 2025. Meaning, if you don't understand similarity scores or information gain scores, or understand how to use entities and understand that Google really knows how to classify relationships between entities. So you essentially have to really know what you're talking about when you publish any content, any service pages, build any type of website these days, then you're really spending your money on nothing, and you shouldn't even engage with that agency to begin with. I think thought leadership in the SaaS SEO space is incredibly important. And it's important that you evaluate the agency based on new, innovative, and unique tactics that they're going to help you bring to market. If you're a newer technology business, you're going to be competing against these companies that have hundreds of millions of dollars in funding, and you're going to need to find an edge. And so, if there's not good thought leadership on what that edge looks like, then I think I would suggest probably not working with that agency. Scale does a great job here. They've got a plenty of articles here that gives you a great understanding about how they approach SaaS SEO and just generally showing that they're domain experts in the space. I think evaluating that as you're looking into your agency and understanding that they have domain expertise in technology, SaaS, B2B SEO, that's really key. And that's going to be my very last tip when you're evaluating an agency. So the first ones being, do they understand the search quality rater guidelines? Do they understand modern SEO? Do they understand information gain patterns, similarity scores, all of the new modern SEO KPIs and tactics that we should be looking at? And then secondly, do they really understand how to apply it for SaaS businesses? Do they have that domain expertise to give you an edge so you can grow your MRR, grow your revenue, and really get out there into market and truly compete? Those are my two top tips for looking into an agency. And then, of course, you can make your choice based on price, but I would never do that. Avoid trying to pick an agency based on someone who's going to ask you to do the work. If you're a founder, if you're a growth lead, if you're a CMO, you do not want to be doing this yourself. SEO as a channel, organic search as a channel, it requires a lot of time. It does require a full team. Avoid thinking that you can do it yourself. I would highly recommend outsourcing this and handing it off to a qualified team that can report on the right metrics for you and show you true actual growth.